with another Carve Vanguard deck profile. So I'm kind of sick right now, so if I go off and on between coughing and sneezing, just ignore that because I'm actually really sick. So this deck is okay. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the Patreon. So this deck isn't a complete one. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now. So anyone in the comments who's gonna rage on this one, know that it's not complete. Reason why I'm saying this, and reason why I'm even doing a deck profile on this, is because one, a while back I had this story where I kind of got serious, and by serious I mean I went berserk, and I somehow was able to technically control the fight in my favor. So basically, I rebuilt the deck to the best of my ability to see if I can get it back to normal. Now, I don't know how I did it, so I'm not even sure how well I did on rebuilding it, but let's go ahead and see if I did it correctly. So my first starting unit, this is a Shadow Paladin Luard deck. This is the deck, by the way, this is the deck a long time ago, like before I customized it. So my starting Vanguard is Diffrubal. Now a lot of people call this thing trash, but this was part of the combo that I pulled off for that thing. So it's a grade 0, 10k power, my starter, so it's Forerunner, GB1, Ritual 3, and Ritual is basically when you have 3 or more, Ritual is where you have a certain number of grade 1s in your drop. This one specifically says for 3 or more. So put this card into your soul. When it's retired by your effect for the cost of your card with the Ritual ability, may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top card, call it, or send it to your drop. That's really useful because that can help get a lot of resources out, especially since some cards in this deck do have on-call effects, so that's useful. Now just on triggers, I run 4 draws, 2 Howls, 1 Drag Wizard Bahad, and Drag Prince Mayak. 4 Brian's, the stand trigger, 4 Dead Crash Dragons, the crit trigger, and 4 Abyss Grail, the heal trigger. So that's basically my generic triggers out the way. As you can see, majority of them are from the trial deck itself from Luard. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Now to our actual units. Grade 1, Drag Wizard Enid. 5k defense, 7k power. GB1, when it's retired from rear guard for the cost of effect of any card during my turn, I choose up to 2 of my units to give a plus 3k power. Now, that can be helpful because I do run units in this deck that do retire, so that can help with power gaining, I guess, and makes it retire useful. I wish I had more. That and this, I would run it for if I had them. This was the main card of that combo that I pulled before with this deck. Drag Wizard Seismus. 5k power, 5k defense, 7k power, grade 1. I don't know why I keep saying this. Ritual 3, GB1, Counterblast 1, when it's placed on rear guard from anywhere. If you have a Vanguard Luard on its card name, pay the cost. If you do, look at top 2, call the 2 units to separate rear guard circles, and at the end of the turn, retire those units and Seismus. So that can be helpful. It can clear out a board. When I was first testing out this deck, I was able to basically get out from 1 unit, and that would be my starting Vanguard, to a full field, and then at the end of the turn, having 1 unit left. Basically resetting the whole field so my opponent can't screw with me. Fuck you, Kagero. So, or Messiahs. 2 copies of Swift Owl. Now this and Seismus, Seismus and Need I run it 4. This I would still run it 2 or 3. 5k defense, 7k power, size 1. Grade 1. Why do I keep fucking doing that? Ritual 3. Soul Blast 1. When it's placed on rear guard from deck, you may pay the cost. If you do, it gets plus 7k power. Now, this deck does have somewhat of a soul problem, not because of this, but because of a certain stride. And if you fucking know, if you have any sense of Vanguard and Shadow Paladins, then you know who the fuck I'm talking about. But that 7k power is really fucking nice, and which was another part of the combo. If I have time at the end, and if I remember, I will show you the fucking combo. If I remember correctly. So, 3 copies of Killer Mayu, 5 defense, 6k power. When this unit GB1, when this unit boosts, you may have the boosted unit get plus 4k power to the end of the battle. If you do, at the end of the battle, this unit dies. But that's useful because I can help towards ritual counts, which is why I run it at 3, and why I did run it at 3. 4 copies of Cluthera, Puzzled Alunor Cluthera, whatever. 5k shield, 6k power, ritual 3. When placed, choose one of your other units to give it plus 3k. That is not helpful. I believe in the time that I did make this deck, I built it, I used this as retire fodder, and just in case I actually could get its effect off. 4 copies of Demon World Castle Vagabond. You know what this is. This is just a normal PG. Discard 1, nullify the attack when it's placed on Guardian Circle. Good news is, it can be placed from anywhere, and I have a G-Guard that lets me place it from my deck if I wanted to, so that's helpful. But it will be replaced with the Quintet wall that Kazuma, the guy who uses this thing in the show, uses. I forgot what it's called, but it basically gives plus 10k shield to the thing if you're a Ritual 3. Now on to our grade 2s. First one is Morion Spear Dragon. 5k shield, 9k power. In deck has a continuous skill. GB1. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, Clarinet Sword Dragon in its card name, this unit gets grade -1, so it becomes a grade 1. But I never ran this in any build, and I never will until I get Clarinet Sword Dragon, for that one ability. It was never used for that ability. The second ability, though, is why I used it. Rearguard Circle. GB1, when it attacks the Vanguard, if it's boosted by a grade 1, this unit gets plus 5k power. That is useful, because in this deck, I've got a lot of grade 1s, and basically, it helps so much, which is why I would run this at fucking 4 if I had 3 more copies, because that's useful in any grade 1 focused deck. 1 copy of Demon World Castle Vangabees. 5k defense, 8k power, GB1. When it's placed on rearguard, choose one of your other rearguards until the end of the turn. It gets, while you are retiring for the effect or cost of your card, this unit is maybe regarded as 2 units. It's not this one, it's the unit that you pick by its effect, which can be helpful. It is mostly used in Clarinet Sword builds, but I run it in this deck because, once more, if you have Certain Sense, the guy who costs Soul Blast also costs a varying number of retire things. So, if you have common sense, you should know who the fuck I'm talking about. 2 copies of Blade Proof Knight Yogol. 5k defense, 8k power. When GB1, when this unit intercepts, it gets plus 10k shield. Not that helpful. There are other choices. I do have Dangda, the guy who is basically bullshit on attack. But I don't run him in this deck because this deck is Counterblast heavy already, and Dangda does waste Counterblast, and I could run out of grade 1s really quickly with this deck, which I mostly do. 2 copies of Knight of Fighting Spirit Dodoria, 10k vanilla with 5k shield. 2 copies of Drag Wizard Leofaro. He was part of the OTK fucking combo, I think. I don't really remember since it was a while ago, but I do remember some of them. Skill, 5k shield, 9k power. GB1, once per turn, rearguard circle. Act, Soul Blast 1 and choose one of your other rearguards in the same column. Retire it, and then you draw 1. Leofaro, and then on attack, Ritual 3 when it's on rearguard circle. It gets plus 3k power when it attacks the Vanguard, and, it gets plus 2k power, so it's an 11k base. Really nice and helpful. 3 copies of Direct Eleanor Dahera. Deberia, I don't fucking know. I use this because it can help me get closer to Ritual, because fuck everything else. 5k shield, 9k power. Choose a card from your hand, discard it. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if you have more rearguards than your opponent, or equal to your opponent, then you may pay the cost if you do draw one. That can be helpful towards Ritual. I haven't gone to games where I've called all fucking 3 on my first grade 2 turn, and I got fucking Ritual 5 on my first grade 2 turn. Fuck it. Now on to our grade 3s. You did not see any of that. 1 copy of Subjugant Dragon. Ritual 1. When it's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, if you have a Vanguard Ritual ability, search your deck for up to 1 grade 1 or less card from your deck with the Ritual ability and call it to Rearguard, then shuffle your deck. That's useful. It can search out anything. I can bring outside them as the fuck I wanted to. And it basically helps with resource gaining. I can basically pick my field. 2 copies of Blue Thorn Heavy Slash Voldemort. Great. Vanguard or Rearguard Circle GB1. When it attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets plus 4k power to the end of the battle. Then act Vanguard or Rearguard. Ritual 3. Choose one of your Rearguards and retire it. This unit gets plus 4k power. That's useful because, once more, he was kind of part of the... I have 2 grade 3s that can do what I told you earlier about. I started the turn with 1 rearguard, got 5, attacked with all my units, and at the end of the turn, I had 1 rearguard left. This could have been one of them. It wasn't this one, but it's the next grade 3 that was left. But this is possible for this unit to be it. The unit that I did do that with, though, is 2 copies of Gigantic Shredder. Vanguard or Rearguard, choose 2 of your other Rearguards and retire them. Once you attacks the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw 1, countercharge 1, and this unit gets plus 3k power to the end of the turn. I see people in most builds not doing this, but the reason why I chose to do this was say I'm fighting Messiahs. I can easily get rid of whatever they locked or what they could lock, and then leave them with only one choice to lock. So, fuck them. And if I'm correct, I can retire locked units. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I'm pretty sure I can. So, which means I can just use the locked unit with Luard Stride Skill to get rid of him. So, yeah. And plus, he also comes with the counterblast problem. Finally, the MVP of this fucking deck, and the one I've been talking about all day, Dragheart Luard. Ritual 3, on Vanguard Circle. Choose 2 normal units from your drop zone and place them at the bottom of your deck in any order that you wish. At the beginning of your ride phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, until the end of the turn, you can stride without paying the cost next time that you stride for this turn. Now, that ability is useful, but say you were on Luard. Say you were on another unit. You cannot go ride Luard, still use the skill because it's not in your Vanguard Circle. But next turn you can if it's on your Vanguard Circle. And then it's Stride Skill. Counterblast 1 and choose one of your rear guards to retire it. I'm pretty sure that works with locking. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure. During your turn, when your units stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 grade 1 units, call them to separate rear guard circles, and then shuffle your deck. That's useful. I would run him at 4. I've been too lazy to buy 2 more copies, but I definitely would run him at 4. So, yeah. Now to his units. 1 copy of Supremacy True Dragon Clarinet Sword Helheim. This son of a bitch I unfortunately pulled. I was looking for something else. I was looking for Drag Stride Luard, but whatever. I guess I can't be happy. Choose a face down card with the same name as this unit, turn it face up. Okay, I'm not gonna go over this thing's fucking skill. I'm not. I ran this thing for the pure sole reason of flip fodder for this motherfucker who you guys will know what he does fucking later. So this son of a bitch is here for just stride fodder or just anything else. That's it. Sea Breeze. Same exact thing, but Sea Breeze has actually come in useful. Because it's G-Zone, Counterblast 2, and choose a card from your hand, discard it. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, the number of your cards in your G-Zone is 0, and your opponent is a Vanguard grade 2 and they didn't ride last turn, then you can strike this card from your G-Zone face down, and it can be used for clans. That's useful. It's fucking useful. Not gonna say anything else. G-Guard I was talking about earlier. Drag Riser Bronak, the thing with the Vagabond. 15k shield. Once units placed on Guardian Circle, reveal top 5, and then call all grade 1s from among them to Guardian Circle, and then send the rest to bottom deck in any order. That's helpful. It can be used for anything. Definitely useful. People say to want fucking Ludwig or Plotmaker. Fuck Plotmaker. I have this son of a bitch. I got Ritual 7 on that fucking game that I told you that I went crazy on. I'm gonna say the best for last. 2 copies of Dark Carnivore. He is... once per turn, act. Choose one of your rear guards, retire it. Your opponent chooses 2 of his hero rear guards, retires them. But if they could not retire 2, your whole front row gets plus 4k. But it does not say they can't retire. Now, if they have 0 rear guards, they don't retire. You still get 4k. But if they have 1 rear guard, they still have to retire, and you get the 4k. Basically, they have to retire as much as they can. Then finally, the MV fucking P stride of this deck, but it's still hard to fucking use. Dark Dragon, Distrust Dragon. Act, once per turn, Counterblast 3, Soul Blast 3, choose a face-down card from your G-Zone, turn it face up, any face-down card, doesn't have to be itself. Choose any number of rear guards and retire them. Your opponent does the same to their rear guards equal to the number of rear guards that you retire. So if you retire 6, they must retire 6, which is impossible. But, and then if you retire a total of 6 or more with this effect, you draw 2, you soul charge 1, you counter charge 1, and this unit gets plus 20k to the end of the turn. Combine that with Enid and other bullshit, this thing becomes overpowered as shit. So, I'm trying to show you the best I fucking can of this. It was Devrubau, Luard, if I can fucking find them, and this was my whole field. This was my field, and I had Carnivore, Bronak, only God knows how many graded ones. I think I had like 5. So, in my drop, no, I had 8 in my drop. So I was like, okay, stand, draw. I don't fucking remember what I drew, but I was like, stride, the generation, using Luard's ability, and send Seismus and Swift out to the bottom. Go into Dark Dragon, Carnivore Dragon. Using my stride skill, retired Devrubau, I call Seismus, and then I also call Cluthera. Give plus 3k power to fucking Carnivore Dragon. Give me like 1 second, I'm scouring my deck for shit. Okay. Then, using skill of Seismus, call the top 2. Swift Owl and... what's his name? Swift Owl and Leofaro there. Then, skill of Devrubau, Superior Call. What the fuck am I looking for? Mayak. Skill of Carnivore. Retire Mayak. And then Power of my whole front row. And then Skill Style 2. I forgot to mention that. And then I had Gigantic Shatter in my hand. Then I basically attacked. And then my Vanguard. Attack your Vanguard. Triple Drive. First check. Crit. All effects to Vanguard. Crit. All effects to Vanguard. Crit. All effects to Vanguard. I was losing. And my opponent was at 2 damage. Started that boat rush. But I won. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and join the Patreon. And I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget to stand up, Vanguard.